Okay, anyway, um, let's start. I'm Marek Piasecki from Poland. I'm the man with coconut. So about me, I'm doing like website for 17 years. I made my first website when I had no internet yet. So I will talk about building polyglot anti-framework. Let's start with what's UDD. So I call it understanding-driven development. And I think that's the only way to be agile. And basically, UDD is against other driven developments and using frameworks. So you just need to use your brain. And yes, some points about UDD. Use tool instead of whole frameworks. Because framework is like more than you need. Decide yourself about application structure and choose needed abstractions. So yeah, I will tell more about it later. And don't let the methodology to decide for you. Like, I don't know, race framework, MVC pattern, or for example, TDD also. So let's see and let's talk more about traits. So, and that's what we have, and what do we really need? So basically, we need a way to deal with database, a place for logic, so we may call it services, and components. It's like the thing Rails doesn't have and shouldn't, because the place for components is on front end. So how many of you are front end developers also? Like, or maybe full stack, like it's better name, full stack. Okay, so just don't do HTML, and that's not your job, right? And well, I just colored it like it's the same, like, but we don't have, for example, router here. It's not needed always. And I think something else also. Well, controllers and methods from models are like might be combined in services. It's up to you. And structure of Rails, it looks like this. So yeah, that's our app. So can anybody tell me, like, what was the application about? Like, maybe we should look closer. So yeah, it might be like, I don't know, library or just a book. Yeah. And how should it look like? Like, it's not Rails app. We just create directory book. And then we have placed there like migration, model, test, view, config, doc, JavaScript, style, images, or whatever you want. Like, and also whatever abstraction you need. Like, you may have like different features made with different languages, different abstractions. It's up to you. And when it's not needed, you can just drop it. And how about Rails? Well, you need to like cherry pick from your application because it's everywhere. So yeah, polyglot programming, I don't have much to say about it. I don't read like polyglot manifests, but for me it's like choosing the best tool for the job. And also not be limited by the things you already know, like the languages. Just like make some research and check what's the best for your task. So my proposition is like to make your own stack. That's how I see it. So let's start with static files. That's the entry point for this chart. And well, in Rails we have views, for example, and well, in modern applications we have tools like React and other component-based libraries that we can use to deal with HTML and DOM. So we might just move it to the client side and just skip it on the backend. So we have all this logic for interface, user interface, stored in CDN, somewhere close to the top hubs of internet network. So it's super fast to be downloaded by browser, and it's like the most part of your app. So it's like the first request your client is doing, and it has it cached. So it's like really efficient to do it on static files. So he has, after this first request, he has like most part of your application, and then you just need to communicate with your backend, like your database and a little of logic on the backend. So that's why I need like thin communication layer, and I think WebSocket is like good to use for that. And also for the backend, like if we want to be like not bounded with one language or framework or whatever, we just set up a like independent message bus, and whatever goes there, it goes to like your consumers, like, well, you'll see. Okay, so I just, this is my choice for this concept. So for static files, I will use Webpack. I love sprockets, but it's like it's not maintained by big players on the front end. Like first we have, for example, React libraries on like Node.js modules, and like if they care, that they will make some gem for Rails, but it's not always like that. So I chose Webpack. It's also like, it's powerful, you can do everything in it, but it's not so like beautiful like sprockets. Also, like for browser, I choose Imba. It's like, I think 20 people on the world use it, and it's component based like React, but like 1,000 times faster. And for WebSocket, I chose Primus. It's Node.js like ultimate solution for WebSockets. So you can choose from like 5 different engines, like whatever you want. And also you get a lot of plugins. And for the message bus, I use this, and this is like the guy from Redis made it. So it's unordered message query. Like it's not query because it's unordered. And also I will implement a Ruby consumer for this, just to show how it works. So I think it's like the end of slides, but I will show you like live. So we can check 2 repositories. One is MadManiac Pro and one is MadManiac Pro example app. So Pro is framework I made like this week for especially for you, just to show a little polyglotic approach. And Pro example app is an app made in this framework. So I think we'll start with some benchmarking. So I think I will start with race application. This is how benchmark looks like. So we have benchmark 1, benchmark 2, and one is with sleep for 1 second, and another is just responding. And I will use Apache benchmark library. So let's go with 1000 requests made from 200 clients, just for the first benchmark. So it will take some time. And let's check. So the most of processor is like recording the video right now, but maybe somewhere down there we'll find like we have 16 threads for Puma server. It's default configuration for Race 5. So it's like going slowly forward, and it's not consuming resources. And yeah, here it goes. And where is the benchmark? Yeah, so 200 requests goes up already. So I think this benchmark is like 5 requests per second. That's the result without this recording thing. I'm not sure if we wait to the end. So yeah, I'll just break it. And we have some data here. Yeah, it's like about 5 requests per second. So why do I use the 1 second sleep? It's like simulation of making a lot of database requests which are consuming only like I/O resources, not memory or processor. So if you have like a lot of like wrong made queries for the database, you'll end with 1 second query. And also I have bench 2. It's really more like it's faster. Let's check it. Yeah. So, well, it's like an ideal situation. Your application does nothing. It only exchange requests with the clients. So headers. So it's like request and response. So then we have like 273 requests per second. I remember it was like kind of 500 without this recording thing on my processor. So yeah, that's Race. Let's check Pro example app. So that's the same. Like that's benchmark. I will not use the benchmark without sleep because it will do the same results like with the sleep. And let's kill it. Okay, for example app. So Pro app is based on many different servers. So you have just procs file to manage it. I don't know how to make this benchmark like to be like equal with the previous one. So I will make it like from one client. So it's worse case because in Rails you can't just make it in separate threads. Like yeah, it it will be go only in one thread, so it's worst case for your app. But here it doesn't matter. So instead of 1,000 queries, let's do 10,000. So like the result is like 800 queries per second, and like with like whole processor to you, and like you could see it was like 100% of usage per each processor. So it's consuming your resources. It's effective. It's already done. WebSocket like failed this time. Anyway, yeah. What's next? Oh, okay. So let's go back to the chart. So if you see the chart, it can do, the Pro framework can do like 50,000 queries in half a second, till the point when it's in communication layer and it's going back with the reply. So, well, it's like the thing to investigate. Maybe we should like put more thin communication servers there to be faster. But till this point, it's like super fast. And you have choice. You don't need to like always wait for the response. Sometimes you just want to send something to the backend. So it's already like 50,000 queries per half a second. So yeah, and it's Ruby on the backend. So you can do this with Rails. And so maybe I'll show you like the structure of the application or of framework. So this is how Pro framework looks like. The main thing is pros file when you organize your servers, and the like most inventive things here is like servers. It's a framework when you combine other frameworks, and like I implemented like this. Disk is for the message bus, Primus is for thin client, Ruby is for Ruby backend, and Webpack is for static files. But well, you can change it. Like you can use whatever you want. Like maybe Python on the backend. Well, I'm not voting for Python, but you can also like, you are now free, like choosing your technology. You can work with guys doing Python. So, and it's the same application. Just check it out. So, app and components for me is the same thing. So each of these servers should like serve files which are based in app directory and components directory. So if we go to like the example app, we have questions feature. So in questions I have like IMBA files, Ruby files, migration file, and style file. So if I don't want question anymore, I just delete directory, and I could place there like Python file or JS, Node.js file, because it works together. And yeah, even if I like write it like badly, like it's not a good code, you don't care, because this part of application is like not well written, and you have like another part of application, and you use your abstractions, the thing you think like are the best for your feature. So for example, like in this part of application, I just made here a serialization instead of make another class for serialization. So it's like in action method. So yeah, that's what it looks like. But you can change it, and yeah. So also one more thing, like for about Pro framework, it's like Git based. So you have two repositories you're working for on, and it's like you're pulling from the Pro repository, then you are making your changes, and then you are pushing to your repository and pulling from your repository and so on. So if I will change something in Pro, you can just pull from Pro and you have upgrade. Like, and also the whole code is in Pro framework is like you can change it. It's like you're not ended with like fucked up framework. You can fix it, and also easily you can just make a pull request. So the framework is better. So let's run the Pro application. Something doesn't work. Okay, so it's live application because why not? So just if you can just run this address. So it's 8887 at the end, and ask some questions. The app should like work generally. I know there is one bug because I'm putting rendering in wrong place, so you will not see questions like always. It's like 90%. So you can just refresh them. Okay, so you can also vote up if you want me to answer the question.
There's something I should move to the fourth.
Well, just use 3000 at the end, sorry. 3000 port. Yeah. So that was enough actually. Yeah, 3000 port. So the address is like this with 3000 port. Okay, so any live questions?
What about production? Some projects it's late in production.
Well, it's like made this week just for this presentation, the whole framework. So that's the point. Like, if you help me, it will be like it's really easy to do. Like
Very fresh, yes.
Yeah. It's like all the ingredients are production ready, right? So, well, yeah.
So the understanding-driven development, is it a term viewpoint, or is it, because I've never heard about it before?
Can you
Yes, so
repeat?
UDD, the understanding-driven.
Well, it's like my term, like
Yeah, that's what I was
polyglot
wondering.
is like known there, but understanding driven development is my thing.
No, I like it, I just never heard about it before.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, you have like full stack application made by scratch, and it works like you don't need to ask me question if it scales because it's already scaled, and it's simple. Like the app is simple.
First with a question.
Well, that's mine.
Can you show the repo link?
Yeah. Repo link. It's there. Yeah, you have two links, one for the framework and one for the example app. I'd like to have pull request from you to this framework because it's like made in this week and nobody knows about it, just you. So I will talk about it like maybe this month on Kruk and somewhere in Poland. But if you don't help me, like you will use like Rails for another 5 years, or maybe you change to Node.js, which is also like not so nice. And here you have framework when you have freedom to choose. Like you can write in whatever you want, and it's fast. So yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.